Barack.
Aloha, Trev.
Barack. He was a friend of mine, and he could say his speech, his heart in every line. Oh, Hillary, I wish it was thee. Oh, hope is gone, hope is gone, hope is gone, hope is gone. Gonna be some beatdowns, some leaving town on the Trump shift, on the Trump shift. I hope you're feeling proud. You pulled a bigger crowd. Gonna be a long night. Nothing feels right about the Trump shift. The Trump shift. Now there's a racist cloud. No Muslims are allowed. There's gonna be warfare with Putin there on the Trump shift. You found another home and left us all alone on the Trump shift.
Trump shift, Trump shift, Trump shift, Trump shift, Trump fit, Trump shift, Trump
Oh,
fit.
Tony! Mwah! I love you. We're going to play a new game. Things will never be the same on the Trump shift. On the Trump shift. On the Trump shift.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Kamukelo.
Salamkela.
Sonzela.
Wamkelekile.
To the 174th state of the puppet nation.
Let's get it on. This week, Pravin Gordon fears for his life.
Donald Trump makes everyone fear for their lives.
You work for me now.
And Thabo Mbeki has a new lease on life.
Oh, hello.
All this and more. But first, this. In Cape Town, revelations about the heaviest water users have had interesting results.
Neighbors are turning water snitch, happily reporting anyone they think is overusing water.
Next. Hi, sir. Good afternoon. I'm very concerned. I'm certain my neighbor is wasting water.
Okay. Have you seen lots of water outside the house? Or noticed there's sprinklers on during the day?
No. They just, they look too clean,
Too clean?
Yeah, the whole family. My son, you see, I mean, sometimes he gets a tiny smidge of dirt while he's playing, that sort of thing. But the entire family is spotless. I mean, always. The only possible explanation is that she's wasting water constantly.
Okay, well, thanks. I've written that down.
Okay, but don't you need her name, like her address? I know where she works too. You can go and arrest her there.
I think I'm good. Thanks.
The findings of the SABC Commission are in.
They didn't have a lot of positive things to say.
But one remarkable glaring absence was any kind of disciplinary action against Hlaudi Motsaneng.
Before you ask me a question, I want to tell you, Hlaudi is innocent. Like ice water. Smooth. Like stony. Thank you to the wonderful people who support Hlaudi, the wonderful job I have done.
So basically, if everything was bad but had nothing to do with you, then you didn't have much influence, did you?
Weren't actually responsible for anything?
No real contribution to the organization whatsoever.
Must be hard to know how utterly pointless you are.
No, wait, Imawo. Before Hlaudi, there was no SABC. Hlaudi is central, like a wheel spin, vital like a vitamin water. You must appreciate Hlaudi.
Yep. completely useless. Put down your iPhone, step away from your Androids. Have we got news for you?
The Nokia 3310 is back and ready to dominate the market. Again.
Best phone ever.
You bought a new one, Rian?
Nada near. This is my original. It's the only phone I've ever had.
What do you mean the only phone?
I bought it brand new 17 years ago.
So, do you think people will really want to buy them again now?
Absolutely. They do everything a phone needs to do. Phone calls and quick SMSs.
Nobody uses phones to phone anymore. That's outrageous.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I got caught up in a game of Snake.
It seems like it is never a good week to be Pravin Gordon.
On top of his other worries, like managing the country's economy and trying to keep his job, Gordon now has to worry about whether or not the ANC Youth League leader wants to kill him.
Colin Mayini, commonly known as Oros, compared Gordon to an impimpi and said that in the old days, he would have been swiftly dealt with.
I don't want to waste my time on silly threats. I think we should talk about some of the feedback I've received around tax brackets and trickle down.
Behind you!
I'm glad you're behind me, Deborah. I appreciate the support.
No! Oros is behind you!
I'm afraid I don't think he is justice, but the youth often have a naive view of the economy.
He's right behind you with a knife!
I always said Kung Fu would be useful in my career, and my parents never believed me. Now, you want to talk tax?
No, not right now. I think I've had all the stress I can take for one day.
Following a recent spate of xenophobic attacks in Gauteng, President Jacob Zuma says he is absolutely 100% confident that he doubts South Africans are xenophobic.
Minister of Home Affairs Malusi Gigaba has echoed these words, saying South Africans hold no ill will towards immigrants, nor do they intimidate them, or loot, or burn their property.
She is right, Deborah. In fact, we are so unxenophobic. We have made sure our next Miss South Africa candidates are all from Djibouti. We are so unxenophobic. Our next Minister of Foreign Affairs will be E.T.
Where's this going?
I have no idea.
We are so unxenophobic. We are following Donald Trump's immigration plan. But instead of a wall, we'll be building a giant ditch around our country. A deep, wide one, so all the lovely foreigners will fall right into South Africa.
Minister, what you're describing is a moat.
You know, the thing medieval castles built to defend themselves against outside attacks?
Malusi, call my architect. Tell him to add this moat thing to my next Nkandla upgrade, okay? On it. Okay. Can the Somalis pay for this moat? Never mind.
With a scandal hanging over her head and a replacement taking over provincial leadership of the DA, are Patricia de Lille's days numbered?
While de Lille has weathered many political storms and had more political affiliations than most people have underwear, maybe even she has her limits.
I have no limits, Deborah. No limit. I'll reach for the sky. No valley too deep. No mountain too high.
Table Mountain might be too high if they take your mayoral role away from you.
If these nice think they can keep Cape Town without a colored person in charge, then they need a swift push clap to the face.
That's, blunt.
I tell it like it is, Justice. No limit.
So you think you should keep your job, even if you're found guilty of leaking documents?
No comment.
I think we found a hard limit there, Deborah.
Okay, so switching parties, no problem. Evicting poor people, no problem. Discussing potential leaks to the press, big problem?
No comment is my safe word. Once I've said it, you have to stop.
I think you're confusing interviews with intercourse.
Hi, mums. Do you fear that when your kids eventually become adults, they'll be sadistic, inconsiderate, violent, stupid assholes who will eventually have 6 illegitimate kids and be hooked on some kind of drug or alcohol? Well, worry no more. more because you can give them an early start with Junkie cereal. It comes with all the bad things that they'll experience later in their life, but allows them to experience it right now. Junkie cereal comes in many different flavors. We have brain damage flavor.
Sometimes when people aren't looking, I take a deep breath alone.
Abusive alcohol flavor.
Get the out of my house, Margaret, and take your son excuse riding with you.
And one of my personal favorite flavors, cocaine freak-out flavor.
I did what you asked me. Please, I did nothing wrong.
So get your Junkie cereal now and ensure that your kids become the bums they're meant to be right now.
I want to eat my kneecaps.
Hey, Deborah,
Yes.
read anything good this week?
I read a really lengthy Tumblr post about why you should insert a rock into your body.
Okay.
Not in any orifice whatsoever.
I believe you.
It could be catastrophic, upset the natural biological balance.
I wasn't planning to. Why would anyone plan to? Why are we even talking about this?
Well, what were you hoping for?
A recommendation for my book club.
Oh. Bill Bryson is nice.
No, it's too late now. Thabo Mbeki has a brand new position.
He's the new Chancellor of UNISA.
Memo to all staff. Oh, hello. Welcome to my academic domain.
It looks kind of like your old domain.
But now I'm an academic. As Shakespeare once said, knowledge is the wing wherewith we fly to heaven.
UNISA's a pretty huge job. The largest university in the country, such intense demands. How do you plan to go about
And
your
it
new...
was Keats who said, knowledge enormous makes a god of me.
A god? I thought you were just a chancellor.
It was Thabo Mbeki who once said, we are not being arrogant.
I'll be sure to quote you on that. Whip out the beers and berets. Julius Malema is having a birthday.
I wonder how he intends to celebrate 36 revolutionary years in the midst of another land lawsuit.
Tonight, my comrades and I are going to turn up and paint the town red.
Really? You don't look dressed for a night out at all.
What do you mean? My entire party is gonna be dressed like this.
Oh? Is it a costume party? I love dressing up.
Not that kind of party. Stupid. I am too busy fighting economic inequality to bother with festivities. While you worry about what I'm doing to celebrate my birthday, there are masses of our people with no jobs and nothing to eat.
It's your birthday, Julius.
Yeah, let them eat cake.
Hey, comrade, order 36,000 red velvet cakes. Yeah, and a Diet Coke. Under the bill, just write white people. If they won't give back the land, they must at least give us some catering.
And is someone running down the center. Will anybody catch him? No, never.
Your kid getting skin cancer from playing outside in the sun is a problem. Your kid watching cartoons and movies and frying their brain is never a problem. Get FUTV Mini for only half your monthly salary and keep your kids indoors. FUTV.
Hi, can Vusi come out and play?
Never.
Let's see if Rian finished playing Snake and has time to discuss old news.
Sorry? What did you say? I downloaded this Snake app and you see it. Let's cross to Ria.
Deborah, Justice. What a great day to spend time with two of the most fantastic.
Oh dear.
Rian, what's wrong?
Are you okay?
Clearly, he isn't, Justice.
I'm so sorry, Deborah and Justice. But this week, I thought I would watch all the Oscar movies and.
Oh, Rian, that was a terrible idea.
Shame. Bad idea, Rian. Yeah.
If you have to watch Oscar movies, you should at least try to space them out a bit. You know?
Yes, give yourself time to recover from the trauma.
I'm sorry. I just felt so sorry for that poor man.
Which one?
It was the saddest thing I've ever seen. He can't dance to save his life.
I have to admit that was pretty hard to watch.
Yes, and when white people are the ones saving jazz, you know you're in La La Land.
But enough modern misery, and let's turn to some old misery. Rian, when are you taking us today?
Well, not that miserable this time, Deborah, because it was 37 years ago that ZANU-PF won Zimbabwe's first democratic general elections. Let me take you back. Good evening, goeienaand. The Zimbabwe African National Union Patriotic Front, or ZANU-PF, won the country's first democratic general elections today. ZANU-PF leader Robert Mugabe will be sworn in as the new Prime Minister in the new Government of National Unity. And we are not impressed. Prime Minister Botha, what is the South African government's reaction to the new Zimbabwe democracy? Firstly, stupid name. Stupid. And secondly, what was wrong with the democracy they already had? It wasn't a democracy? Of course it was. All white people were allowed to vote. All white people. Not a democracy. Next, I suppose you're going to tell me that South Africa isn't a democracy. It isn't. What? Will the South African government maintain a good relationship with Zimbabwe? If by good relationship you mean send their migrant workers back home, cripple harvest distribution and destroy the oil supplies, then yes. In other words, no. Listen, it's not my fault they decided to send their country to hell in a handbasket, but the South African government will do all it can to make sure they reach their destination. We're nice that way. That's just mean. Yeah. The sooner South Africans can look to Zimbabwe, whatever, and say, I told you so, the better.
I'm thinking of starting a petition.
It's all the rage these days. What would yours be about?
That the USA can't call themselves the land of the free and the home of the brave anymore.
I mean, they're still mostly free, though.
The press isn't very.
I guess so.
And how free are Muslims? Not very free to travel. And trans people?
There are some minor infringements on freedom, but overall, it's
I'm just
not
going to
that...
start drafting it now. Trust me, it won't be long.
Let's cross to Scott at our US desk to find out how that freedom's coming along.
And if there are any signs at all of bravery.
President Trump had his first chance to address a joint session of Congress this week, and as is usual with Trump, it was anything but usual. However, it could have been a lot worse. Here's our exclusive footage of Trump's rehearsal.
First of all, I'd like to thank you all for coming. This is going to be the best joint session ever. Believe me, I'm the best at joint sessions. Nobody does joint sessions better than I do. We're going to talk about a lot of really great things. Really great. Believe me, like being better friends with Russia. I'm the best at being friends with Russia. And healthcare. Healthcare is complicated. Did you know that? I bet you didn't know that. Fake news thinks it's easy, but it's not easy. Let me tell you. I am the least knowledgeable person about healthcare in the world. It's so great to see you all. Believe me, this reminds me of that time I won the election. Do you remember that? Do you? I won it by more than anyone has ever won an election before, ever, in the history of elections. I won it by this much. Actually, my hands aren't even big enough to show you how much I won by, even though my hands are huge. They're bigly. They're really, really great. They're the best hands. Nobody has better hands than me, believe me. Anyway. You work for me now.
What do you think, Teddy Trump? Did I talk enough about how much I won by?
I really won by a lot. Believe me, I won at winning.
Yeah, you're right. Add more about me winning.
Bravo! George W. Bush is still reveling in Trump's presidency and the opportunity to be the good guy. This week, he spoke out about the importance of a free press. It's important. I think we got that bit.
The early bird catches the worm, but the early newspaper can turn the worm. That's what they don't tell you.
Okay. So you don't believe in fake news?
Well, heck, sure there's fake news, like that daft story that I flew a plane in 9/11, or that one about me organizing a hit on Harambe the gorilla because I was jealous.
Jealous?
It's hard when a gorilla has a higher approval rating than you do, Scott.
I'll take your word for it.
But I can tell you 3 things for sure, Scott. CNN and the BBC and the New York Times are not fake news, and I have never ordered a hit on a gorilla.
That's only 2 things.
CNN, gorilla. You're also not fake news.
That's very reassuring to know. It seems that America might not be the only target of Russian election hacking efforts. Recently, reports emerged that suggest the Kremlin may be undergoing a global campaign of political espionage. It seems as though Putin has mastered the art of meddling in foreign affairs.
Pick color.
What?
Pick color.
Red.
R-E-D. Pick country.
Mr. Putin, what is this about?
This is about the strength of Mother Russia. Pick country.
Germany.
Excellent choice. The last guy picked America. G-E-R-M-A.
What is that map?
I'm making a list of countries whose elections I plan to, follow closely.
Well, even for you, that seems like a reckless way to follow elections. Reckless enough to get caught.
When you've been following elections as long as I have, you need the excitement.
I notice you haven't circled any countries in Africa.
I go where the paper takes me, Scott. But maybe in 2019, South Africa. We'll see.
So there you have it, folks. George W. didn't kill Harambe. Donald Trump might as well be taking advice from a teddy. And an Osman could be stalking our finance minister. So all in all, a totally normal week.
This has been the 174th state of the Puppet Nation. Goodbye.
Bye.
Snake again?
Yes.
You have an addiction already, don't you?
Yes.
I'm going to have to confiscate your phone before the next show, aren't I?
No. The only way you're getting this phone is from my cold, dead hands.
That's when we'd finally conquered the Candy Crush situation.